Hello everyone, welcome back to my computer project. Not much has happened in the last week. I have been working on different modules and stuff for inside the thing, like my the 4-bit binary counter, stuff like that. I built a board to buffer these switches because at the moment when you have one of these on, it does source current, but it never syncs it when it's off. So I've built some buffers so that you can source and sync current from these inputs. Haven't actually tied them on yet, but I am using them in something else for the ALU. As you can see, I've fitted some perspex on here. This is not permanent because I didn't have M2 screws that were long enough to go through the perspex, because this is 3mm perspex, through the board, which is 3mm, and then into the actual standoffs at the back there. I also done a pretty poor job of cutting this. I'm not too bothered about it now. I've got plenty spare, but yeah, it's like that. So firstly, the cut was pretty bad. It wasn't quite straight. That's because it snapped. And yeah, and this one was actually a decent corner, but it snapped off when I was drilling it. That was the first one I drilled, and it just went. So I was a little more careful on the other ones. I drilled it quite slowly, but yeah, it just snapped right off. So I'll replace this in the future. Yeah, and it will look a little nicer, and I still need to bring that forward a bit. So I need to cut this hole bigger, and I'll cut the hole bigger when I do these. As you can see, I've drawn out the... So these things are for these. So yeah, as you can see, they fit on a circle on the back, and there's 2 screws that you actually fit it to the panel with. So that's the radius of the circle, and those should be roughly the screw holes. So I'm going to sort of drill those in, squeeze it in, make sure everything roughly lines up, and yeah, I'll be able to fit those on there, and that will look quite nice. So yeah, another thing I've actually added, so as I was saying, I added buffers for these switches, but I'm actually using them for the ALU at the moment, because I'm now using the register. So if I turn this on, you'll see it says 7.4 in there. That's just random data. And if you see, when I flip switches, nothing actually happens. So all this is going through the ALU, but it's not going into the register. So the register has a read, sort of like a load signal now. So if I lift this out, it will load it. So that loaded a 7. So get rid of it. This should load a 4. Yeah. So yeah, that works with adding as well, obviously. So this should put a 2 out. And yeah, so I'll pan you up to have a look at that. Or actually, what it might be better is spin the whole thing around. Right. What's the best way to do this? Like this, I suppose. Oops. Right, so ignore that. That's the inverter, which I did use. So this was the thing I built for the front panel. So it's basically just double inverters. So you put in a signal, it puts out the same signal by inverting it twice. So if you input a 1, it turns it to a 0, then turns it to a 1 again, and it allows it to sync current as well. So that means I can use the memory, because the memory works in a way where it needs to be able to sync current. If you don't sync it, like the ALU doesn't actually sync it. So when I tied it straight to that, every time it was not trying to load, where you were trying to lock it off, it would load just once in all the memory. Hold on. Right, so yeah, as you can see here, that's just random data. But if I pull out the load cord, actually no, I must have something actually set here. There we go. There's some random digits. Oh wait, okay. So I had that loaded. Okay, so now when I do switches, it doesn't update until I release this, and it will load it, and that constantly outputs to the display stuff. So that's quite handy. So I need to build one of these on. Well, actually, it'll be part of the ALU later on. The ALU will have a multiplexer, and that will output a signal that can source and sync current. So that'll be good. For the time being, this allows me to just test that it works, and it does. So I'm quite happy with that. I've actually drawn out some holes over here as well, so that can now be fitted to the actual board. Yeah, so that's cool. So yeah, I don't know where this would actually. So this is meant to be over here somewhere on the front. So it will take all these lines and put them all into just one thing. Not sure how that's going to work yet, but yeah, we'll see. And so I just booped the camera. Let's do some post. Okay, so the bag was basically glued to the thing. That was smart, wasn't it? Or was it just open? Did they even come in a bag? Or was they in there? No, they weren't in there. Did they just throw a bag in there? Sorry, not a bag, but, you know. Did they just throw all those in there? Oh, whatever. Well, anyway, these are the slightly longer 2M screws for the perspex of front panel, and that should go through it all. I hope. And that's just ridiculous. I never have luck with these packages. Right. Oh, that's quite a nice kit. Right, so this is. It shows you on the front what it is. So basically, I wanted some new clippers because the ones I've got at the moment, they're like Games Workshop ones. So they're mainly for plastic, and they're a bit knackered now. You try and snip a bit, and it just sort of squeezes it. It loosens it, but it doesn't cut it, and it's just really annoying now. It leaves lots of sharp bits on the bottom of the circuits. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, this has some other stuff in it, like metal files and things like that. Little sharp knife thing. And it comes with a box. There are lots of kits like this that were more expensive and didn't come with a box. I have no idea what that is. Bit of plastic. Oh yeah, those are nice. Those are nice. They're quite comfortable and easy to squidge. Got some screwdrivers. Tweezers. I won't need them. Blades. I'm guessing that's the. Don't know. I think you put the blades in that, or is this the blade on the end here? Okay, I'm not. Oh yeah, the blade goes in there. Okay, explains that. And yes, I think that is meant to go there. Right, so we have some metal files as well. Be quite handy. Oh, yeah, some big ones as well. Look like giant lollipop sticks. And another one. This is it's like a triangular one. So these will be actually quite handy for the wood as well, because I can instead of using like a piece of sandpaper wrapped around a bit of wood, I can just use these to sort out the details. So yeah, this mess, which I'm going to now have to clean up, that was my post. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.